Greetings, beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel, The Optimist Hub. My name is Yanga, and today's video, I want to talk about how consistency is the frequency to get to a high vibrational state of being and actually becoming the best and the greatest version of yourself. Consistency is a discipline that requires discipline. Right? Essentially, for us to be consistent, we actually first need to know our why. It's very important to know your why. It's very important to know your reason for doing something. And then that informs how you show up for that thing. And so consistency is what informs how you show up. And so again, with consistency, we ought to show up for ourselves. We need to do it whether we want to or not. Sometimes we want to show up for ourselves and we're full of energy, and that's great. But even on the days where you feel like, oh my God, you still need to be consistent. Even if you give your 10%, but still consistently show up for yourself. Because oftentimes we tend to show up for people a lot more than we do for ourselves. And I ask myself, why is that? Because I also do it, right? I also have moments of doing it, and I catch myself in the moment and I say, but why is it that I'm so willing to bend over backwards for people? Not that that's a bad thing. That's absolutely great. But again, not to your own detriment, right? So why is it that we're willing to bend over backwards for other people, but for ourselves, we sometimes really just give ourselves the bare minimum? Is it because we feel unworthy or undeserving of this very idea or vision or whatever it is that you are working towards, that needs you to be consistent, that needs you to show up? Because that is why I say we need to know the why. The why is the vision, right? The why is the end goal. Where do you want to get to? Why do you want to get there? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for people? And if you're doing it for yourself, it's very important to show up even more, because we owe it to ourselves to really try and give it our all, to really put in our best foot forward, to really just strive for the best, to really reach, and break the barriers, reach for, possibilities that are beyond what we can even conceive, what our minds can conceive, right? It's very important that we are able to show up for ourselves consistently. And I think in showing up for ourselves, we then honor ourselves. Honoring yourself is the utmost important thing you can ever do for yourself. To honor your desires, to honor your calling, to honor your dreams, to honor your life, to respect and to see yourself for who you are, which is the great person that you are and the great potential that you can be, right? And that is really reliant on how you show up for yourself and how consistent you are in doing so. And that is why I say consistency is the frequency to get to that point, to get to that level, because essentially in order for you to get from point A to point B, you need to take action, right? We need to consistently take action that is in alignment with where we see ourselves, with what we want to achieve for ourselves. It is very important that we know the why, that we take action, and that we are consistent in doing that, right? And show up for ourselves relentlessly. Like I said, yes, there will be days, there will be times where you don't feel like showing up, but please do yourself a favor. Even if you give yourself 5% of yourself to this thing that you're working towards, to this thing that you desire, to this thing that you long for, to this thing that you want, to this thing that your soul and your heart longs for. Even if you give yourself 5% of yourself in that moment, that is enough, right? That is enough. Consistency does not always mean 100% all the time, right? It just means showing up for yourself, and again, being intentional with showing up for yourself. Add value. Let your showing up for yourself add value, right? In the moment. Do something that's going to consistently add to the cup that you're trying to fill. The cup being whatever it is that you're working towards. Consistently, drop by drop, okay? Show up for yourself and watch your cup become full. Let it, fill up to the brim. And literally, it would be filled up only if you take the action to pour, to consistently pour into the cup. And that is you taking action. That is you showing up. That is you honoring the very thing that you desire. That is you honoring yourself, right? That is you actually working towards whatever it is that you want to bring to life. That is also wanting to be brought to life by you, because it has chosen you, because it wants you and needs you, only you, because you have the unique characteristics and qualities to bring it to life. And so I beg you, beautiful soul, try your level best to show up for yourself, be consistent in doing so. And by doing so, that is you honoring your calling, honoring your gift, honoring your talents, honoring your dream, honoring whatever it is that you want to bring to life. And with that said, beautiful soul, may goodness and grace lead you to great heights of success. Namaste.